Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today, in this video, I am showing you a dress that I made. I have already finished it, and I can tell you, it turned out pretty good. And it's a black dress made out of some silk I found in my fabric collection. And I wore it to my brother's dance recital. It's pretty easy to make. It'd be easier if it wasn't silk, but here's the video. So I started off by sketching my designs. I just did the first two of the designs I was going through, but I knew the silhouette I wanted, but I was playing around with the sleeves and what kind of flowiness the skirt would have because I wasn't sure how much fabric I would have. So that's just what this is. The two designs I put into this video are the ones that are most like this dress. And then there's, I think, two more designs that I have a video that I put out I think last week, but it's out, so you can look at what I designed and what my thought processes were, but that is this video. After all the sketching was done, I went to cutting out, and the first thing I cut out was a circle skirt, and this is how I cut it out. As you can see, in the circle skirt ended up being a pain in my butt because I made a mistake when I was cutting it out, which we'll talk about later. Then I cut out the top, which looks quite nice. And this is a similar top to what I did in my Valentine's Day dress, which I show later in this video, so you can just keep watching for that. And it's pretty simple. It's just a really long rectangle for the top, for the front part, and then two square things in the back. And then my brother helped me serge, which looks like this. And then after everything was serged, I sewed together my circle skirt, which led to this. So I just made one of the dumbest mistakes. This is upside down, which, doesn't really work. Aren't I just so smart? And then I already seam ripped one section because it had a pucker. And now I have to fix it. But I can tell you this skirt will be very flowy. You can't see the bottom of it right now. Yay, don't you just love mistakes? So this is the lining layer. And I decided that instead of doing it the same length as the middle panel, so you can see it's folded in half right now, because I decided to cut it in half. And then what I'm going to do is take the actual outside layer and then I'll gather it instead of using elastic like I did for my Valentine's Day dress. And that's because this one has lining. I didn't think about when I was cutting it out, but now I had to think about because I'm putting it together. And I thought, when I was thinking about how I was going to put it together, I thought maybe I could sew it in between the two layers, the elastic, which would be using the elastic is a little easier than gathering, but I think this way will ultimately be best. So what I'm going to do is cut this to size, and then I'll sew all the 3 panels on both of the things together, and then I will put in the armpit holes, and then put the armpit holes on this one, and then we will have, and then I'll sew them together. That should work. Here's the footage. So like I said, I pinned together the lining layers and then sewed them together, and then I did the same thing for the outside layer, and then I sewed them together. You can see me pinning them, and after I pin them, I sew it together like so. And then I cut the armpit hole little triangle thing so that it will lay flat when I turn it inside out. And then I ironed it, the lining layer in that, so that I could sew it, and it looks all nice and beautiful. And then I did the top stitch off camera. Finished top stitching this. And so it looks pretty nice. I think it will work. It seems to be a little short, but that might just be because it's not sewed on yet. But I think it will look nice. It's come along on the outside. It's fun. I think this will work out good. So now I just gotta gather this up and then see if my circle skirt will fit on this shirt. I think I have a lot of room in the back, so I just need to work the overlap.
There was too much room in the back, but not enough room in the skirt, so I had to seam rip it, and I don't have a seam ripper, so I was using my baby scissors. That moment when I got up, I was looking for my seam ripper, but it wasn't where I thought it might be. So yeah, so I'm using my baby scissors, which I had to use for this whole dress, and I seam ripped the skirts a zillion times. And if you thought you couldn't hear me in the last clips where I was talking, you can't hear me here. And I'm basically just saying, this skirt's causing me so much trouble. It's puckering so much, and I'm so upset, and it's so frustrating, and blah, 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 blah. I'm so frustrated. I just want it to work, and this, if you look at this, it has a zillion puckers in the top. Ugh. And the skirt, so many problems. I sewed each panel a zillion times and seam ripped it a zillion times, and it sucked a lot. Don't work with silk. So after I fixed the skirt, I went ahead and hand sewed on the lining layer to the bottom part of the skirt so that it is beautiful and you don't have any stitching at the bottom of the bodice. And so that took quite a bit of time, and this clip's rather long. So let's talk about something. What do I want to talk about? I don't know. And it's already over. So yeah.
So I finished sewing this. Now I have to put in my zipper, which is a bit nerve-wracking because I don't even know if they barely meet. I'm gonna have to finagle this to make it so that they barely meet, which is disappointing for the skirt part. This like over meets, so I'll probably cut that a bit. But hopefully it won't.
Anyways, I didn't record the rest of the process, so here's an old clip of me sewing on the sewing machine from the beginning of the video. But yeah, the zipper did cause me problems. It broke my needle twice, and then I ended up buying an invisible zipper, which was nice. But the hemming of the dress didn't cause me any problems, and I added a bow, which is fun, and you'll see it in the dress in a minute because it is so cute, and you guys will love it, I am sure.
So here is the dress done. Sufficiently flowy. So it's like very wide. It's kind of pretty. It's not my favorite dress that I've made, but it is decent. The things I would change for next time: not use silk. It is the pain in the butt. But I mean, it looks nice. So there's a couple puckers on my dress. There's one on this side right here, and then this seam right here is ugly. I would wish that was changed. And then you can see the lining at the top. Well, of course at the top, because that's the only place I put lining. So yeah, and then also how this, I should back up so I can focus on my face. Also my top, I'll get closer so you can see it, goes further gathered than I would have liked. And then it's also slanted, which is different than I would like. Yeah, a lot of puckers, but the length is nice. Like I said, it's flowy. I would also next time make sure I have seam allowance for my circle skirts, so that would be way less complicated. I wish this bow was as thick as the sleeves. I think that would be cuter, but I just didn't have the fabric for that. And then I didn't sew it on, so I can move it around for different styling options. I liked the bow in the front. And I think the bow is fun because it like matches the sleeves. And these sleeves are nice because they like add that fun sleeve that I personally love without being, without taking up too much fabric. I also made the top a little too small. Like if I'm not careful, I've heard like the seams popping a couple times. And also I can't have a bra on, which is fine because I don't have boobs. Well, I have boobs, but not really. And so yeah, I'm happy enough. But don't work with silk. But it's nice for some fabric I had around. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want me to do more sewing content. But who knows with me. Bye!